Warzoners and non-Warzoners alike, welcome to the Warzone Chronicles. This is Alfie as usual. In this video we're going to see how I paint one of my commissions. It was a miniature from Star Wars Legion, the infamous bounty hunter Bossk. It was at a higher quality, but trying to do it as fast as possible because the customer wanted it finished as quickly as possible so that he could play. So let's take a look at how I did it. No special techniques or anything, but I hope you enjoy the video. Here's the miniature, primed in black. I didn't do the priming. And we are going to start with these two colors, green gray and ice yellow. What we are going to do is the base coat will be green gray, and we'll gradually mix some parts of ice yellow to do the highlights. Here we go, that's the first coat. So of course we'll apply a second coat of mostly everything, even if I don't show it in the video. So here's the second coat. It's still green-gray, but one thing that we can do is start kind of like sketching a little bit the highlights by not fully covering the darker area, so the areas that are not hit by the light with the second coat, so that they stay a little bit dark. Now by mixing in a little bit of ice yellow, we'll start the first highlights. Obviously we're hitting the areas where the light would hit. Go, that's the first highlight. So now we mix a little bit more of ice yellow and we gradually reduce the area that we've done before. And here we go. We could go a second, third, and as many highlights as we wanted, but I didn't want it to look too shiny. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do the shades with a little bit of ink, as you can see here. Green Vallejo mixed with a little bit of Scale 75 black and Flow Improver to make it flow a little bit better, as you can see. The best thing about using inks for highlights, for shades as opposed to a regular wash, is that it also tints tints everything. So we can sort of like change the color to adjust and that sort of thing while we add definition and shades. Okay, so with the skin more or less finished, we can apply more layers of green ink. But I'm going to start the yellow overalls, and for that I'm going to start with brown earth, to which I'll gradually mix an scale 75 yellow. Cool, that's the first coat. Focus, there you are. Now the second coat, and again we can add a little bit of yellow to the mix, just tiny a little bit to start sketching the highlights. This particular paint job, I found it a little bit challenging to apply several coats, several thin coats, which is obviously what you're supposed to do, because of all the straps and things kind of like hindering the whole thing kind of in a way. But there you go. You can try with the second coat, and as you can see there, you can start to kind of like distinguish picking up the highlights. And now, by adding a little bit more of yellow, we'll start highlighting it again. There you go. And as usual, highlighting is a matter of personal preference at the end of the day, so you can apply as many highlights as you want, always reducing the highlighted area. Now what I'm doing here is applying a glaze, which is highly diluted paint, obviously, of the previous shade. And now another layer of highlighting, painting a smaller area every day. Here we go. Now for the straps and piloting gear, which is supposedly white, which is a notoriously difficult color to work with. So I'm going to use light gray instead. And I'll gradually add white to highlight. Also, I forgot he's carrying a grenade, so we're going to use the same color scheme for it. soft coat. Now we'll add a little bit of white. If I'm not happy with the contrast, as I'm doing here, we can always take kind of like into the previous color or an intermediate color and kind of like soften the transitions as I'm doing here. There we go. A little bit more white, add it to the mix to continue highlighting. There we go. Now going for the black details in his overalls, in his pilot outfit, which has kind of like I don't know exactly what they are, but you know they're kind of like valves or air respiration stuff, you know, Star Wars stuff essentially. And we are also going to paint this kind of like cartridges. So for black, it's always a good idea to use German grey in this case, but you know, a very dark grey rather than black, because in case you need to shade it, obviously there's nothing more black than black. Okay, so if you have kind of like a very dark grey, something like that, you can still shade it, and of course you can highlight it as well. So we're going to base coat all the black details with this color. Like so. I've also done the little things in between of the legs, kind of like the straps carrying cartridges, or I don't know exactly what they are. Now with lighter grey, we can start highlighting. And even a lighter tone of grey for the little details which are supposedly white, but I decided not to use white. Now the belt is a strange color, it's kind of like greenish, you know, but I don't. I wanted to use a different tone to his skin to kind of like make it stand out a little bit, so I used Russian uniform and ice yellow for highlighting. Like so. Now, white is not a color that you should use other than for, you know, really extreme highlights and things like that, but as these little, call them cartridges or magazines or whatever they are, Star Wars things, metallic, you know, but the area to paint is tiny. The important thing is for them to be visible, so that's why I decided to go with white. Now, for the final details, just use different combinations of colors. I'm not going to show it in video because they're tiny and that's not really worth it. So as you can see the eyes, I used orange, yellow, and a little bit of German gray for the pupils. Then red leather for the weapon in different shades of gray. Okay, and here's the final result. So that was the final result. That's how I painted Bossk. I wanted, what I didn't want was for it to look just green. I wanted to give it a little bit of realism. And in the Warzone front, there's a lot of news, but we'll leave that for another video where maybe I'll go through everything coming up. So that's the video for today. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, please consider like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep Warzoning.